don't miss anything, the importance that was said that we need to be able to pass along and share with folks. I'm Mary Lou Burnsick and the director of David's Hope, and welcome to the April meeting of the Arizona Mental Health Criminal Justice Coalition. I'm thrilled that you're here today, and we are expecting to learn a lot and to have a lot of great information shared between you, our participants, and we especially want to welcome Brian Shrum, who's going to be our presenter later in the hour, who's going to be sharing on work that's being done in the Department of Corrections on peer support and recovery training and the ongoing mission to bring that culture and those skills and development deeper into the system at the Arizona Department of Corrections. So we are, as I said, excited that that you're all with us. I know we're going to have more folks coming on, so but I don't want to tie up our start, so I'm going to go ahead and begin. I'm going to start as usual. We'll be going through our partner updates, and because there are quite a few of you that we will be asking to share, I'm going to ask that you try to keep your comments to about 3 minutes or under. That way we'll be able to get through the with the entire list of folks that we wanted to have join in with us. I wanted to mention next month we're going to be having a speaker that's going to be with us via Zoom. That's her name's Anna Mendez, and she's going to be sharing some very interesting information about work that's been done in Virginia relating to criminal prosecution of people with mental illness and the right for those folks to disclose their mental illness at trial. So this is going to be a particular interest to you legal junkies and attorneys, prosecutors, defense people, and all those involved in the court system. So you might want to watch for that notice when it comes out and be sure to share that among your colleagues. I'm going to start with calling on our law enforcement partners, and I'm checking to see who is online right now. My participant list is not showing me everyone for some reason. Is Detective Sabrina Taylor from Phoenix PD, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Sabrina. Glad to have you here. I'd like to ask you to share with share any updates with us.
You know, I don't think I have any updates. We're getting busy. We're moving along, but more of the same.
Okay, and I know CIT International coming our way, and that's probably going to keep busy. Keep everyone busy, and I know there's the opportunity to do nominations. So.
Oh yes, thank you, Marianne, because that closes at the end of the month, and we're always looking for, especially advocates in the community. So feel free to, and it's only 500 words to nominate whoever anybody thinks would be good for, advocacy roles. And I think there's like 8 different award categories.
Okay, yes, and so you can get onto the CIT mailing list if you're not already, the CIT International mailing list. If you need help with that, contact us. But it's going to be an exciting year for Arizona, having all the good folks of law enforcement here with us.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's see if other folks in law enforcement, I know our friends in Scottsdale Police Department are registered, and I'm not sure if any of them are on the line yet. Maybe Lieutenant Watson or Tracy. Is anyone here from Scottsdale PD yet? Okay, I don't see them. And how about the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office? Do we have anyone here from Maricopa County Sheriff's Office today? I know they're signed in. They must just be gonna come in later to listen to you, Brian. So that's okay. We'd like to invite the sheriff, they're here. Do we have any other, I'm gonna look through here. Deputy Chief Benny Pena from Peoria PD. I'd like to
Hey,
invite
good-
you to share.
Okay, good morning. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of updates. We are hosting a West Valley CIT school right now. So I'm running back and forth from that, just watching it from the background. But again, just moving forward with our programs, and everything's good out here so far. So here to learn.
Thank you, Chief Pena. Thanks for being with us today. And I know, trying to think where to fit. Is Amy Devins from Arizona Complete Health, who's the first responder and crisis service manager there. Amy, are you on the line yet? No, don't see Amy. Okay, I would love to have her share. I know she's been tuning in for a few months, and I kept skipping over her. So if anybody sees Amy, come on, let me know. I'd like to have her share today. And how about Don Wilson, our Navajo County Criminal Justice Coordinator. Don, are you on the line yet? Okay, we're gonna get a late start today. I know Don's registered. Okay, Dr. Stalkup, Bobby Stalkup, the Mental Health Director of the Arizona Department of Corrections. I was glad to see you with us today, and like to invite you to share. And I know people do know who you are because you've been with us before, but it'd be great for you to just share a couple updates or just words or greetings or anything you're in the mood to do. Looks like you're still muted. Let me.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could make it today. We are just continuing the delicate balance of making sure that we are taking care of all the COVID related issues. Right now, we are working on inmate vaccines, which we're in the midst of that right now. So we are continuing to work on that. And while my job ensuring that the mental health services are met amidst kind of the restrictions that are involved because of COVID. So we're just kind of in that delicate balance right now. We are right in the middle of the inmate vaccines, and we're certainly looking forward to getting on the other end of this. And so far, we've been able to make sure that the mental health needs are getting met. They're getting the services they need, the level of care that they need, and just continuing to do that amidst the hurdles.
Thank you, Dr. Stalkup. I appreciate very much you being with us today, and it's always good to see you and know that the work you do. We're pleased to know that the work you do is very much appreciated by us, and we appreciate so much your transparency and responsiveness when we call out for help. So,
Yep, please continue to do so. You know that, Ms. Mary Lou, whenever there's a concern that comes up, just let me know as soon as possible, and we'll make sure that it gets addressed.
isn't that amazing, folks? Thank you, Dr. Stalkup. So Dr. Bobby Stalkup, the Mental Health Director at the Arizona Department of Corrections, has a lot on her plate and does a fantastic job seeing that folks are getting the care that they need. I'm going to check in with any of the probation departments around. I know we had several probation supervisors and probation officers that had planned to attend today. Are there any that would like to share? Possibly from Pinal? I don't know, Melissa, if you're on the line, or Jessica from Maricopa County.
Hi, this is Jessica Ethington with Maricopa County. Sorry, I've been having some technical difficulties this morning, so there's not any significant amount of new information with what we're doing. We're just trying to make mental health court work as best possible. We're doing some virtual review hearings, and we're still proceeding with our probation violation hearings in mental health court, so we can have that collaborative approach with everybody in order to meet the needs and trying to address any kind of issues that the individuals are having that maybe cause some struggles on probation. We're doing our best to try and make sure that people are getting access to the care that they need and everything else. Catching up from all the unintended consequences with the COVID restrictions makes it incredibly challenging, but everybody is doing the best they can to work together and try and navigate through all of this. But just some of the normal challenges, well, the normal challenges and abnormal times that just about everybody else is having. But we have grown to 3 units in Maricopa County, so we have a total of 24 SMIPOs now. So if anybody in any other county needs assistance or anything with their SMI population, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Jessica. So that's important and great news. 24 specially trained probation officers that specialize in serving people with mental health needs. So that's Maricopa County has always been fantastic in this area, and I'm living proof of that because of what my son David went through years ago. So I feel always indebted into the Maricopa County Adult Probation Department for what they've done and continue to do. Sometimes they can be your best advocates when all else fails. So thank you, Jessica, for that. And you heard that invitation to other counties. If anyone needs assistance in development of their probation department in that area of service to people with serious mental illness, reach out and we will connect you up with the folks, with Jessica and the folks there at Maricopa County Probation. And I just got a note that Amy Devins will be joining us soon. And I know Kate Vesley from Pima County, the Pima County Criminal Justice Coordinator, planned on being here. Kate, are you on the line? I didn't see her. I don't know what's happened today. I have all these people that were going to be here and they're not. They're not. So, well, I don't know if there was an earthquake somewhere or what's happened. But hopefully we're all safe, and we'll just figure the people that are here are the ones that need to be. So I will just continue on. Jamie Green from the Access Office at OIFA, are you on the line?
Hi, good morning, Mary Lou, and good morning, everyone. Jamie Green with Office of Individual and Family Affairs with Access. And I just would like to give, I was looking to see what are my updates. So maybe everybody is kind of like me, Mary Lou, just a little frazzled. And so what we have going on in the Office of Individual and Family Affairs currently is our next community forum. The community forum goes over major decisions and the future of what our behavioral health system and integrated system looks like and when to expect these changes. We have quite a few updates that we'll be going over. So I'll put the link in chat for how to register for the next one. And I think at this moment, Mary Lou, that's all I have. And I will be happy to take any questions, though, if anybody has any questions, or if you have any questions.
Well, perhaps I could put the questions in the chat. Thank you, Jamie. And yes, go ahead and do enter that in our chat. And I appreciate you being with us. And I just want to mention the access to me. it seems like, they have a mountain of information, and I know some people have a good way of taking it all in, and I'm not one of those people. They have, they have so much. They have so much. It's a huge effort that goes on to keep our Medicaid system and our state healthcare system running. So I just want to encourage everyone and bring attention and thanks to the OIFA Access Office, and also to NAMI Arizona and Jim Dunn, who has helped us coordinate with that office in the building partnerships effort. So if you get on, I'll just give everybody, especially family members that have a hard time like I do navigating this sometimes. If you get on the Access website, just put OIFA in the search box, and it will take you to a page immediately that makes a lot of sense, and that has a lot of just really quick, easy to click on links. For instance, how to file grievances, how to solve delays in care, and just really cuts through the chase and gives you concrete tools that you can just download quickly or just read off and know what your next move should be. So I encourage you and professionals alike. I know you might just not have time sometimes to sort through so much. So utilize that OIFA page in the Access website, and I think you'll be amazed at how quickly you can overcome some challenges. So thank you for bringing OIFA Access to our attention, and again, thanks again to Jim at NAMI Arizona for encouraging us all to work more closely with our state healthcare system. And Kim Foy from the Division of Developmental Disabilities at DES, you shared with us last month a bit on the OIFA at DES. Are you on the line? I was going to ask you if you wanted to jump in today.
I am on the line. Thank you. I think just currently we are accepting referrals for our advocacy services, Ebony Atkinson and I, and we've completed our pilot. And so we're receiving at least 2 to 3 referrals a day, which is amazing. And so if any of your members, people you work with, are enrolled in DDD services and are having challenges getting what they need, please contact us. I can put my email in the chat and our OIFA Behavioral Health Advocate link for more information.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, and do that. And we do want to always remember that our Arizona coalition wants to build partnerships with the Division of Developmental Disabilities and the Brain Injury Alliance. I know we have partners there, and the Autism Society. We share so many commonalities, and we want to continue to work together with you to reach our common goals. So thank you, Kim, for that. And Fred Nelson from Inside Out Network Director, I don't know if you're on the line, I've been keeping you in our regular emails. So those of you that are following the work of the Inside Out Network, please do remember that network is in the process of, well, Brian will be sharing more about that, but going through a pilot right now. But Fred, are you on the line? No, I don't see. Ralph's shaking his head no. So
I'm Sonia Vina. I currently am, I attend ASU and I'm in the internship program, so I work closely with Fred.
Oh, great. Would you like to share any updates, Sonia? I appreciate it.
Sure. So right now we are currently in the process of testing the Inside Out Network. We're doing usability testing over at the, is it the lower, I think it's the Buckeye unit or Buckeye prison. So we've been basically working closely with the CO3s to get testing set up for 2 inmates at a time to kind of get an idea of, is our system set up right? Our platform, is it easy to use, kind of working through that. And then, yeah, hopefully we plan to get it rolled out as soon as we get the tablets are actually being rolled out to the inmates. We know that there's going to be a rollout of tablets that are coming too. So we plan on basically rolling it out on that as well, on the tablets. Yeah, other than that, we're continuing ourselves as interns. We're working every day to connect with providers out here in Arizona to, basically partner up with as many providers to make it an easy process, an easy road for reentry.
Super. Thank you, Sonia, so much. And do not forget the Inside Out Network and the work that's going on with the Arizona Department of Corrections, who is going to bring this Fred's dream and his work into reality here in Arizona to really create a comprehensive reentry network across the state. So fabulous. Do not forget them. They are important folks, and giving us a tool that we've never had before that'll really cut down on the legwork we're going to be doing, and we're going to be able to access resources and the folks coming out of the Department of Corrections and eventually the jails too, we hope, will be able to access the resources they need quickly and appropriately. Let me call on our friends from Mercy Care and Frank O'Halloran, who is the crisis services coordinator there. Frank, I know I always call on you. I don't know if you would rather have someone from your team. I know there's quite a few there that you work with, but would you like to share some updates from the Maricopa County Crisis System? Okay, maybe trouble with audio because I'm not seeing a microphone on Frank right now. So if there's anyone else on Frank's team that wants to jump in, you're welcome to. Okay, well, if that changes, Frank, feel free to jump in before we're done.
Mary Lou,
Yes.
he's on camera and he's trying to talk, but we can't hear him.
Yeah. Oh, there you I see you. I see you, Frank. Okay. And I didn't know if anyone else from your team's there, but I know you have a lot of important things going on, Frank, so I want to give you a chance. You could stick something in the chat if you'd like. Okay. And you could jump in it later if you need to. Thanks for being here, Frank. And how about, I'm going to see if, I don't think Amy's come in yet. How about our friends from NAMI? Would, I know Jim's on, Jim, I think you're on the line. I see Sherry. NAMI Arizona, would you like to jump in and share anything that's going on in your world?
Well, thank you, Mary Lou. We'll see if this actually works. Can you hear me now?
Very well.
Oh, how about that? Well, it's good to see you again. And, thank God you brought this group together. I know it's a challenging time, but I think we definitely have the right folks at the right tables in the right places to move forward and really put some structure and process in place that's going to help us not get caught with our pants down in the future. Very excited about the upcoming CIT International Conference. NAMI Arizona will be staffing the NAMI table on their behalf, and we're looking to bring together 2 reps from each of our affiliates across the state and do like a mini summit at the same time, so we can really show the relationships that they have with their local communities and law enforcement. And hopefully this is a chance where we can highlight some of the partnering that you've helped establish, particularly in the Stepping Up initiative, because we've trained so many people in civic leadership development and how to be involved. And we want to make sure that, they are involved at the county level as we implement these processes, and that we have ways of connecting all these terrific individual, family, and community leaders. So we're excited, and I'll let Sherry chime in. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. Sherry, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Sorry, I couldn't get off mute. We actually are starting a new class in May. It's a brand new course here in Arizona called Homefront. And Homefront is a class for family members and caretakers of vets. So we're really excited. We think this is, going to be something we've needed probably forever. And we've got it scheduled starting May 12th and it goes until June 16th. So if anybody's interested, keep in mind, you do have to be a caretaker or family member of a veteran's or just the vet themselves, then, get a hold of me or Jim or, we'll be able to get them into that class.
Thank you. That's very good news and interesting to learn about. So thank you, Sherry, for being here to share with us. And
Well,
glad to
thank
hear,
you.
glad to hear about the table that NAMI Arizona is going to have at the CIT conference too.
Yes. It's exciting. We have a lot going on.
You guys are in the middle of everything.
We try. Sometimes we're not very successful, but we try.
Thanks, Sherry.
Uh-huh.
And I know Don Wilson from the Navajo County. Don, are you on the line yet? No. I hate to just totally neglect that region. Ralph from up at the White Mountain area, would you like to share any updates from up there in the White Mountains?
Sure.
Ralph is the representative from NAMI up there.
Yeah, I'm the president of the chapter here in the White Mountains. I had to get myself unmuted. Yeah, we met, our board met for our chapter last Thursday night in person at one of the local restaurants. And we decided to go back to doing some in-person things from a NAMI support group standpoint. So we had our first family support group last night at one of the local churches. And we had 3 people show up from Navajo and Apache County, along with Maggie and myself leading the thing. So it felt good to be back doing things in person again. Pretty much everybody in our age group is vaccinated at this point in time. So we're still following all the rules and procedures for the church that lets us use it. But with regard to Dawn and Navajo County and criminal justice, one of the other things that is going on in my personal planning is to begin to do some traveling around the 2 counties again. I'm planning a visit to Apache County on Monday, and I will be traveling up to Holbrook and the jail and meeting with Dawn and some of the folks that I know up that way sometime over the next several weeks. So I hope to have a real effort from our county to remain connected into what you're doing there, Mary Lou, and also what Fred is doing. I sent a text to Sonia asking when this pilot that she was talking about is planned to be coming to fruition, to an end, that we might examine the results of that. So that's about all from our end.
Thank you, Ralph. And that's wonderful to hear that how you're following through on so many levels up there in your region. So we appreciate your leadership so much. And thank you for continuing to partner with us here at the Arizona Coalition. And I know Brian will be talking more about that pilot, so I'm sure he won't neglect to fill us in more on that. Now it's about 10:30. I'm going to ask if Amy is here one more time. Amy Devins from Arizona Complete Health. In all fairness to Amy, I didn't tell her I was going to be calling on her today. But I just realized I'd been neglecting her for quite a long time. John from down at Arizona Complete Health, Delgadillo, are you with us now? And would you like to pop in maybe and give any updates from down in your region?
Hey, Mary Lou.
Hi.
No, I don't have any updates. I mean, we just continue to work with our system partners in the community and adjust day to day as everything changes, and just support where we can to continue to make our reentry programs and services as seamless and smooth as possible. So no real changes or updates right now.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us today.
Mhm.
All right, and are there any other, before we move on, are there any other law enforcement that came on later that we're planning to give updates or wanted to and that I didn't call on? I don't want to pass up anyone from Scottsdale or any of the sheriff's offices. Okay, they're all busy. And it sounds like there's training going on still, so that might be affecting things a bit. All right, let's see what else we have here. I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to do our poll. And I don't think Drew is on the line. I haven't seen Drew, so I'm gonna be doing the poll with you myself today. And I love the poll, and I know you guys do too. So we're gonna go ahead and we're done with our partner updates. I'm gonna go ahead and launch a poll, that just a 3-question quick poll to have you all chime in. And we're gonna get that going now. So you should be seeing this on your screen. 3 questions. My relationship to a person living with a mental disorder or addiction is, and this is that usual question that you're used to seeing. So take your time and answer that one for us, if you don't mind. Are you a peer or family member, a professional, or both? And then our question number 2, I currently or in the past have had a family member or loved one incarcerated in an Arizona jail or prison. Let's see if you're a member of that select group or not. And third question is, the county I live in, and this of course is more of opinion poll than anything. The county I live in is making progress toward reducing the number of people with mental disorders in jail. And we know all of our counties have signed on to the Stepping Up initiative, but what's your take on it? Do you feel your county's making progress? So I'm gonna end that poll. It looks like the numbers are in. And we're gonna share the results. So 28% of you are a peer or a family member, 23% professional only, and 50% of you are both. And have you had a loved one or a family member incarcerated in an Arizona jail or prison? 64% of you, a yes answer to that question. 36% no. And question number 3, the county I live in is making progress toward reducing the number of people with mental disorders in jail. 51% of you believe your county is making progress. 18% say no, and 31% say I'm not sure. And that makes sense as well, because how do we know unless we're looking at the data? And we have to really first create the data, and then we have to share it. So a lot of work involved there. Thank you so much for your participation in that poll, in our poll today.
Can I just share something real quick? How you said about if we feel like our county is really, doing something about, like, for example, substance abuse. I just recently discovered that there's like a YouTube. It's called the channel is basically Lost in Phoenix. I just encourage you guys to go and watch it, and then you guys will see slowly there's these numbers are rising, and the ages of these kids are getting younger and younger and younger, and it's very sad. But I hope that maybe we can get providers to kind of help connect with them, because a lot of them are just basically out in the street homeless.
Thank you, Sonia. Lost in Phoenix. I'll have to take a look. I'm not familiar with that, but
Okay.
That's what so many of our partners are working on. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the meeting over to our presenter. We are very grateful to have Brian Shrum with us today. Many of you saw Brian receive an award, our Max Dine Award at our February awards event. We were really pleased to be able to offer him that award for his outstanding work and serving and training, educating people all across the board, really, who are justice involved, either as peers themselves or as folks who work with incarcerated individuals. And Brian, I just want to thank you for sharing your very personal story. And we did send that out last night, so I encourage everybody, if you missed it, to take a look at the bio that Brian provided for us. He really shared his background in a meaningful way, and it's just been it's an inspiring story, Brian, that you have where you've been and what you've done and what you continue to do there at the Arizona Department of Corrections. So I want to thank the Arizona Department of Corrections for creating room for you, and you are taking up a good space and hopefully cause lots of good trouble there. So in the words of John Lewis, right? Yeah. So I will go ahead and turn myself off and let you go on with the meeting, and you hopefully you won't have any problem sharing your screen. I know you want to do that. So
all right, well,
introduce Brian Shrum.
All right, thank you very much, Mary Lou. David, to answer your question, she sent it out in an email yesterday. So if you don't have it, email me and I'll forward it over to you. So let's see here, figure out how to work this real quick. My apologies. Is everybody seeing this okay?
Yeah, I think you can. Is it as large as it'll go? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, it looks good.
You're good.
Okay. All right. So I am Brian Shrum. I am the Recovery Support Specialist Program Manager within the Arizona Department of Corrections, Rehabilitation and Reentry. My email is at the bottom there if you need it, and it will also be on the last slide as well. I invite anybody that has input or wants to connect to help make this program bigger and better to reach out to me. I will never say no to a meeting to try to improve anything. So we're going to cover the introduction to the RSS program, the expansion of it initially, our community integration, some current statistics and future plans, and then I will open it up to Q&A at the end. So initially, the program started up with a partnership with Arizona Complete Health. Some representatives from there came in and did focus groups with inmates to see what kind of services they were wanting, they were needing, and what would be able to benefit them. And then Arizona Complete Health and my supervisor, Stacy Paul, worked together to develop the initial training for staff members to get certified as train-the-trainers. And it was a very interesting experience. And I mean, interesting in a really good way, because we had ADC staff, we had community members, we had Danielle and Jose with Arizona Complete Health that were doing the facilitation, and the dynamic there was really good. We learned a lot from the community members that were present, and I feel as though they learned a lot from us as well. So it was really, really great. Arizona Complete Health was able to spread the training out over a 2-month period so that we were able to continue to do the work we were doing inside the prisons. We did initially, I believe, 9 staff members, which included some program managers, substance abuse counselors, and it was those that identified as peers, either through mental health or substance use. And we went on from there. So as we were working to figure out the who as far as inmates, we wanted to make sure that our program was going to have longevity and be very successful. So this criteria you see here on the screen is the initial criteria for an inmate to be able to become certified as an RSS to work in the system. So they have to have at least 1.5 years left on sentence. And that is because we need to be able to do a training at, say, Tucson Complex, and then move on to the next one without having to keep going back and forth to Tucson to ensure that the program stays going. They needed to have at least 1.5 years disciplinary free. We are looking for individuals that are demonstrating pro-social behaviors, that are just, they're not getting in trouble. We wanted people that were going to be the embodiment of recovery. They needed to identify as a peer. We did start out with substance use, and we have expanded it to include mental health as well. High school diploma and or GED. And then the working and recovery program it would open up to their design. So if they were doing AA, NA, step studies via correspondence, their spiritual connection, or their church connection, and they would be able to be in that. Also, if we had substance abuse classes on the yards, that would qualify them as well. We moved on to clearing an SSU background check. And for those not in a department, that is basically the investigations unit that if anyone is suspected of, crimes being committed, they're going to be investigated there. So we wanted to make sure that the individuals we were getting in not only cleared the disciplinary, but they weren't under investigation for anything. And then I think this is the funnest part for me, and it adds credibility to the fact that this isn't just something in prison. This is a job. We actually do a panel interview. Typically, we use a counselor, either substance use, or our sex offender counselors, a program manager, and then either a CO3 or a CO4 on the unit to help with that. And we are just go back and forth, and we're currently, it's a 10-question interview, covers their recovery perspective, and things of that nature. I apologize, I should have put the questions on here, but so actually I'll go back. After they pass the interview process, then we do the actual training, and it is I believe it's 64-hour training spread out over the course of 2 weeks. And we are currently using Arizona Complete Health certification curriculum. And I just want to thank Arizona Complete Health. They have been instrumental in getting this program going, keeping it going. And even 3 years after we started it, they are still side by side with us, helping us to branch out into the community and be able to expand the program to focus on reentry, which I'll include in a future slide. So during that training, they are, I run it as a continual interview. So I'm not only looking at how they're interacting with me as a facilitator, or Holly Escudero, who is my Southern Region Coordinator, or if one of the other program managers is running it, but I take it a step further, and I know Holly does as well. Like when we break for lunch or they go out for a smoke break, we're viewing their interactions with each other and with other inmates on the yard. And this gives us a very good view of who these individuals are. After they complete that, we do some on-the-job training over the course of 1 or 2 days, where we go over the documentation that they're expected to do as part of the position. They do DAP notes for groups and for individual encounters. They're responsible for monthly reports. They are responsible for being on time and facilitating their classes. And we have on-site supervisors to ensure the program fidelity as well. So they meet with their on-site supervisor once a week for an hour, and they do that as a group. They, if it's on a unit where we have a program manager for counseling and treatment services or a substance abuse counselor, that is their supervisor. So they get the, the added clinical component there. If they are not available, it is either a CO3 or CO4. During the course of the month when they're facilitating groups, their supervisor is expected to go in and observe the groups as well, make sure that they are facilitating the curriculum as given to them, but also to, constructively criticize their facilitation techniques, because we're trying to groom these individuals to be able to not only work as an RSS in the prison, but to carry that certification when they get out to be able to continue working. So the classes that they teach, it's a psychoeducational substance abuse classes. We run motivational enhancement. So basically trying to break down resistance, identify their stages of change, and get the inmates enrolled, engaged in the classes. We then run into drug and alcohol education from Hazelden, criminal and addictive thinking, whole health action management from SAMHSA, and then, oops, I have a typo there, relapse prevention from Hazelden as well. So we run these classes. It is a 30-week program, and it's broken into the 5-6 week blocks. Each block itself is a closed group, but if we lose anybody in, say, motivational enhancement, when we start drug and alcohol education, we would then fill those voids. These classes that are taught are completely voluntary. There is no, forced participation or, strongly encouraged participation. The inmates are responsible for recruiting inmates to get in their classes and keep track of who is in it, who's completed, who's graduated, and then report that to their on-site supervisor. And the one thing I did leave out for the training class itself, it is actually considered a CTE, which is career technical education. So it is a major program. So if anybody would qualify for an early release Senate bill, the RSS training actually will qualify for them for that. The classes they teach on their own do not, but we are seeing great numbers of enrollments across the state. So our initial expansion, we wanted to roll it out slow enough to where we were able to keep an eye on the program, see how it is received by the inmate population, see how it was received by administration as well. So our initial classes in Tucson began 6 of 2018. And as you see there, we moved to Perryville and 9 of 2018. So there's a gap between Perryville and Lewis, and that was where I was being systematic with developing the program, dealing with any issues that arose, enhancing, the documentation and the training, and just making sure that what we're building is going to last. I would love to be able to say we're on every unit, every complex, every private prison, but to make sure that this has the credibility that it needs to have, we've been, as you see here, very, very methodical with it. I'm actually currently in Safford and just completed the first training on one of the units here in Safford. So as you see, it's been, 2.5, almost 3 years from start to being at our current complex. Community integration, I think, has been one of the funnest components of this, and it is one of the most needed components of this as well. So Hope Incorporated, we have formed a relationship with them for a community referral for individuals that have been receiving the RSS services inside. We are currently doing it on 3 units out of Tucson complex. We've got My brain is going. Okay. My apologies. Catalina and Manzanita. And basically what it is, so any individual that has received RSS services while they're on that unit, 6 months to release, we send a referral over to Hope Incorporated. And then we begin the process of meeting or having a Hope Incorporated peer meeting with the inmate that has received services. And they are finding out what services that inmate is going to need post-release. And then the meeting schedule is once a month for basically 5 months. And then the last month, it's like at 3 weeks, at 7 days, and at 3 days. And then once the inmate releases, Hope Incorporated is then engaging the released offender and getting them enrolled in services and going from there. We also have a opiate in-reach program that the RSSs are a part of through Community Medical Services. And basically the inmates on the yard that have self-identified as having an opiate addiction are able to receive opiate referrals and opiate specific curriculum. And upon release, they are able then to go engage with community medical services and, look into possibly like medication assisted treatment, opiate specific therapy and things of that nature. And the component right now that's been on hold due to COVID, but it is a component that I am continuing to work on building relationships with, is our Second Chance Center job placement. So for those that don't know, we have our Second Chance Centers located at our Lewis complex in Buckeye, our Perryville complex in Goodyear, and down in Tucson as well. And the plan is once those open back up, the individuals that have been certified as RSSs will be able to go to our Second Chance Centers, develop their resumes, and then be able to, apply directly to community providers that are hiring peer support. We are currently getting ready to launch our Men in Recovery community, which is a therapeutic community. It's based out of our Tucson complex on the Manzanita unit. And the inmate RSSs are a huge component of this. So we will have our program manager, Mr. Gilchrist, overseeing it. We will have 3 substance abuse counselors, but we're going to have 20 inmate RSSs working side by side with the ADCRR staff to ensure the program's effectiveness. So they will hold daily accountability meetings with the inmates. They will continue to coordinate with CMS for the opiate in-reach. They will actually continue to facilitate classes there. They will have house leads. So if a dorm has 20 inmates, you're going to have 2 RSS house leads there to help ensure that everybody's on point and hold those daily accountability meetings. And they're going to lead by example too. So they're going to complete the program themselves, and then they will help the other inmates complete it as well. And they will help complete pre and post treatment classes as well. Current statistics. We are currently on 26 units across 9 state-run complexes. As of yesterday, we have certified 206 inmates across the state. And the no discrimination there is, we don't care what these individuals are in prison for. If they want to help people recover, we are going to give them the opportunity to recover. We have taken a very humanistic approach to this, where we view them as having the capacity for good. So I have people, that are in for drug possession or drug dealing, up through various sex offenses, all the way up to murder. I've got people that get out in 6 months I've got people that get out never. So I think that's been one of the strongest allies we've had, to where they see that anybody can be a part of this, and anybody can help others recover, and anybody can recover, and that we are giving them the opportunity to do so. We have had 1,055 inmates complete the wellness recovery program, which the wellness recovery program is the 30-week program that the RSSs teach. As of last month, we have had 266 released graduates. And when I did the math, and we are currently just shy of 3 years of running this program, we are at a 3% recidivism rate for individuals that have completed this program. A statistic I don't have on there, I have had 17 inmate or certified RSSs release. 7 of them are currently working in the field of behavioral health. Others have gone to areas where there's not a lot of opportunity for them at that point in time, or they had to, get a job to be able to pay their, fines, fees, restitution, and all that stuff. Our future plans, we want to eventually expand our referral program to more agencies and more areas. And by this, I'm looking at focusing on more agencies in the Tucson area, and then in the Maricopa County area, as that is our largest release centers across for the state. And then I will eventually focus on the smaller communities as well. I have had conversations with the various insurance providers and various community agencies across the state that they are willing to continue to expand what we've already established with Hope Incorporated. We are taking this approach very slowly, though, as you can imagine, with 1,055 inmates enrolled in the program, it can go by pretty quick. And we want to make sure that we're being effective with what we're doing. Bear with me one second. Expanding into the community correction settings, and we do have Miss Megan McGlynn is on this presentation as well. She is over at our Maricopa Reentry Center. Sorry. Basically, what it is going to look like once the reentry centers open up is going to be having inmate RSSs at our Phoenix complex that will go over to the Maricopa Reentry Center and facilitate classes, running similar classes to what we're doing there in the prison. And we will do the same thing at the Pima Reentry Center as well. We want to expand the Second Chance Center referrals. So we want to, I have a couple agencies in mind, and we want to be able to have more. I want these RSSs to have the best options available and the best opportunity to be able to go out into the community and work as RSSs. We are looking at expanding to private prisons eventually as well. Once I have all of the state-run facilities up and running, I will do trainings with the staff at the private prisons and help them get the program established and implemented there. Referral program from community agencies, and this is a lofty goal, and this is part of my 5 or 10-year plan. We are, well, what I'm wanting to do is, so say an individual on a Community Bridges FACT team is heading back to prison. I want them to be able to send us a referral so that when they hit a yard, so they say they're going to Perryville, Santa Rosa unit. We'll be able to send a referral to the RSS supervisor there and be able to engage that inmate once they hit the yard. And then the last one, which is actually coming up pretty closely, is implementing our own curriculum. So myself and my Southern Region Coordinator, Holly Escudero, have been working on developing our own RSS training curriculum, and we will be submitting that to Access for approval here, hopefully within the next couple weeks. We've been working very hard on it. I've been getting feedback from the management team at ADCRR, and we're hoping to make it something amazing. And the community interactions I've had, the help from Arizona Complete Health, have made this what it really needs to be. Mary Lee, do I have time to show a 12-minute video?
Yes, Brian, it looks like we're in good shape time-wise.
Okay, let's see. Oopsie. This is a video that we did, actually giving you a look into the program through the eyes of our RSSs. So we interviewed inmates at our Perryville complex and our Tucson complex, and we released this on our YouTube channel roughly 2 years ago. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not. So hopefully you enjoy it.
I just have been doing what I needed to do to recover my life. We chase 500 different problems, and really the root of the problem stems from addiction.
It's just living on autopilot. Well, this is what I've always done. This is what I've always seen other people do.
I know for me, when I got out the last time, I felt like I had this huge sticker on my forehead that said prison.
When I was younger, I went through the system. I went to juvenile hall, went to county jail. I eventually ended up in the prison system.
So I think for anyone who struggles with substance abuse, who struggles with emotional issues, with mental health issues, you're always looking for a reason not to do the work, right?
It's hard sometimes, and I share the training. If you're getting into this for the fame and glory, you're entering the wrong career. But helping one person, because the day in and day out of it can be very hard. You don't see that. You see the people that are coming back.
There's a lot of people that want to make changes, but they don't know where to begin.
By a peer helping another peer, they're open to another inmate really sharing their stories, and that provides hope.
You're feeling for it, because remember, as women, we feel more with our heart and our stomach than with our head. We're more in here. What an RSS does is it gets people to change their behavior, their thought patterns, their way of living, but in a way that they retain the power, that it's their idea.
So to come into group with someone who you know understands your experience and who's been through what you've been through. So bad decisions, most bad decisions we don't make intentionally, right?
That way they know that we've been through it and we can understand, be on the same page with them. So peers tend to listen to other peers. They trust them more than they trust staff. So they're willing to open up, allow themselves to be a little bit more vulnerable.
If you're not willing to be vulnerable in recovery, then you don't stand a chance. So it allows inmates to be able to open up and reach the level of vulnerability that's necessary to get to their core issues. Absolutely, be vulnerable, right? But I never thought of that as a calling. I never thought of that as being valuable, encompassing what everybody knows right alone. But sometimes my values can go against that.
This is such a value to reducing recidivism.
That's the base of what makes peer support so effective. We know it does. We have all kinds of data to show that it's effective. They just have so much more confidence in themselves, where other inmates see it
and they say, hey, like, what are those guys? What have they got going on? I want some of that.
I've literally heard people say, I want what you have. They gravitate towards that. They're very drawn. People are like, I want to be in your group. I want to be around you. I want that energy.
Arizona has this unique system where we get the ability to work within like the behavioral health system. The credentialing they get here in Arizona is approved through the Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System, which is our state Medicaid payer.
This is incredibly unique because they actually have a recovery support specialist license so that the transition to the community and being able to have a profession helping others also helps them in their recovery.
I need to stop and reframe my thinking so that I don't have an action that is harmful. Having that certification in here, it opens a door in here to your future.
And so my idea of recovery had changed this through the training, because for recovery for me meant sobriety.
Sobriety is not the goal. It's a life worth being sober for.
Going through the training, it was more inclusive. It included everybody. It doesn't matter if you're making a change with sobriety, or making a change with your anger issues, or making a change with the way you eat.
Teaching that first class, everything just clicked into place because I'm relaying the message to myself as much as I'm relaying it to them.
These guys that leave now will have licenses, certifications to actually be employed by community service providers.
It's really good on-the-job training, and it gives you that sense of hope. Like, there is a future for me. There is a career. It's not just a 9-to-5 paycheck to paycheck. It's something that I'm passionate about, and it gives me a sense of purpose.
I think people in general having meaning and purpose in their life makes a world of difference.
It gave me a sense of purpose to step into another role that we call as Native Americans medicine. But once I became in recovery, I found my real values. Even my life was more important.
It's gonna open so many doors. I'm not gonna go out there like, oh my goodness, where am I gonna find a job, you know?
Not many people get to go to work and want to go to work every day and feel like they're doing something good with their life. I'm like supremely grateful because like I feel like I found my calling. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
We're helping them while they're incarcerated, but then also we're still giving back to the community.
They can be very valuable parts because they know what's happening here and what's bringing people back.
So they're not just getting out and getting a job, but they really are setting themselves up to have a good career. With you and your
The first time we had a meeting with her after this program started, the first thing she said to us was, I'm going to trust you guys until you give me a reason not to.
On the yard, when something's going on, we've actually had a couple that are like, get an RSS, go RSS that.
And that's being used a lot. Now the staff is using it, and it's amazing to be a part of it. It fulfills my spirit.
And we're blown away because wardens just don't talk like that. Wardens don't trust inmates.
For the guys that are instructing the classes, one of the greatest things that they're getting out of it is giving back. And once they realize, oh, helping others helps me to, it almost holds them to their sobriety because they don't want to be hypocrites.
Seeing what they call selfless service or service to others has helped me go to another level of understanding. It's not just about me anymore.
And it's super cool because inmates typically are smart enough to do the right things when someone's watching, but integrity is about what you do when no one's watching. And so we wrote up a contract, we all signed it, and we sent it to Deputy Warden Martinez.
Nobody asked them to do it. They wrote a contract stating that they are committed to it and they wouldn't fail. So I thought that was very special.
If we were going to have a warden who was willing to let us do something that our population and our society desperately needed, then we couldn't mess it up.
The difference here was that we talked about ahead of time the barriers that happened in other states and how, if and when they happened here, how we would adjust them.
And the specialization training that they have in terms of some mental health stuff is priceless in terms of the lives saved and situations where possibly there could have been a bad ending.
We had administration and the counseling side of DOC who was completely on board and wanted this to work. And then you had the security side who didn't have any faith in it whatsoever.
Two of the RSSs have actually been called when there was a crisis.
A guy on yard 1 told his control room officer, I'm thinking about killing myself and I want to talk to my RSS.
And we had an officer call from 1 yard to get an RSS off yard 4.
And then I told security officer, like, look, this is what he's saying, this is the thoughts he's been having. He's decided that it's best for him to go on a suicide watch.
And it literally solved a crisis.
Security officers, even security officers on different shifts, were coming to me saying, hey, that was a really good thing that you did.
If I wasn't an RSS, nobody would even know my name. But now that I am an RSS, all the cops know who I am. And it let me become a human being once again. And this is all these inmates really looking for, is to become a human being again. You know?
I'm constantly reminded by what I'm doing to make sure that I'm doing the right things, because I saw how hard it was for the security staff to put that trust in me.
They're changing the culture within the communities that they live in, and that's really important.
This is my community, this is where I live. It's not where I want to be, but as long as I'm here, I'm going to play a part in making it better.
Because I'm not doing this for the paycheck. I'm doing it because I genuinely don't want you to come back to prison.
Seeing that person just change their whole life perspective, right in the blink of your eyes, and watching that person go from darkness to light. And once other people see that, that's when they want to get involved. It's a beautiful thing to see.
It just feels really good in the way that it gives me meaning and purpose. Even if I don't see the change, I mean, it feels really good when I get to see somebody make that change.
Even though they need the clinical support, what they do is just invaluable.
It's so humbling when people are like, thank you for not judging me. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for loving me when I didn't love myself. Thank you for showing me that I can be different, that I'm worth it.
One of our biggest resources that we have is inmates. And so why don't we use the inmates to help fight the problems that we're facing?
They're working alongside staff, they're working on the recovery, and they're helping other people that live with them get better. I think that's pretty cool.
Recovery support specialist training, it is growing so large in the United States. It is a movement, and I'm just so grateful to be involved in something that I believe in.
And you know how you can teach somebody something and become that person you want to be? This program makes people want to be better.
I won't allow you to judge me based on the worst thing I've ever done. You may do that once, but I'm going to prove to you every day that that was a mistake I made. That's not who I am. And I choose to wake up every day and decide that I'm going to be better than the man I was yesterday. I hope to be much better than I am today 10 years from now. So, and if I can get other guys around me to see life that way too, then life's golden.
All right, so there you have that. I get Mary Lou, how much time do I have for questions?
Thanks, Brian. What I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, is just go through our chat box and some of the comments and questions.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking right
We're
now.
good. We're good time-wise.
All right.
And if you want to do something else first, that's fine. Then let me know. I'll start going through the chat.
No, that I was just looking in the chat right now, so I can start going with the questions there. So Sharon, you asked 3% recidivism rate as compared to, so the only component I was looking at for that is individuals that graduated the wellness recovery program, have they came back. I didn't factor in any other details. It was a very focused look on the wellness recovery program itself. Eventually we might look into, looking at other factors that they had going on as when they were incarcerated, but I kept it very small at that moment. Let's see. Don and Steve asked, how does an inmate in Yuma get connected to either training to complete this program, or if can't get the training, participating with the RSS trained inmate? So at Yuma Complex, we are currently on La Paz, Cibola, and Cocopah. They just need to ask the CO3s there on site if they can get in contact with the RSSs on those units. There is no current training program scheduled to take place there yet, but I am thinking probably in the fall, I'll be going back through and doing more trainings there. And when that happens, we'll broadcast it out at the town hall meetings. We'll put signs out across the yard to recruit individuals to come in and apply and interview. Terry McDermott, I will definitely reach out to you.
We had an offer of or a notice of a job opening for forensic peer support down in Santa Cruz County. So that went through the chat box. I thought that was kind of exciting. So thank you, Melinda, for that.
Is there a way to get a copy of the chat, Mary Lou?
Yeah, sure. And it looks like we have a lot of great comments here, just people congratulating you, Brian. If there are any more questions, feel free to stick them in chat now. But I think that question that Dawn asked really was critical because, you know, if folks don't understand how their loved one can access the program, or if inmates don't, you know, haven't really woken up to the fact that the program's there and that they can apply to get in, that would be a barrier. So thank you, Dawn, for that question.
Let's see, Ray, do I see any barriers for the RSSs? I do, but those are barriers that groups such as this can help break down for sure. The ability to, you know, go out and get jobs in the field is increasing, especially with more agencies looking at the forensic component. So having these individuals that have been running the program and doing a great job of it in prison, being able to release into forensic peer support positions is kind of an easy way to battle that. And a lot of community agencies being open up to them coming out. As far as barriers inside, we do, I mean, there are barriers every day. Nothing too significant. The only one that's kind of been lingering around is the good old COVID barrier. But other than that, administration from central office to complex wardens down to unit deputy wardens have all been helpful in establishing this program and keeping it going. So as barriers come up, we are easily able to address them and keep the program moving fluidly.
Brian, I see an interesting question or comment. This was a great video to share. How long until this may be getting rolled out to community corrections?
All right,
that's an instigator, I think.
Yeah, that's Mr. DJ. We are waiting for the reentry centers to reopen to where we'll be able to get the RSSs there. So once they have offenders coming in to receive the services there, we'll be able to get the RSSs moved. So it's just a matter of when they open back up, I will get them there in a very, very short period of time. Kristen asked, is the RSS position a paid position in prison? And it is. So I won't go into all the details, but basically it is a 45 cents an hour position for the inmates. which is one of the higher paying positions within the prison system, excluding such like fire crew and Arizona correctional industry positions, which are contracted with outside vendors.
And I would love to be able to keep the recording for this, just because there's so much involved. So we'll check with the Department of Corrections and folks to make sure that it would be okay to share this.
This recording or the YouTube video I showed?
This recording.
Okay.
And we have to make sure our chat's not in it, so it's a little bit of a trick, but for those that aren't real technically savvy. But you did such a great job laying this all out in a way that we could understand and go back and try to explain it when we're asked questions about it. So it's so specialized.
Sonia, are all levels allowed to participate in this program? So the participate in the certification, they have to meet all the criteria that I covered earlier. But again, like we have people in for drug possession, assault, robbery. We've got sex offenders. We've got murder, manslaughter. It doesn't matter. And same thing on the yards as far as inmates enrolling and taking those classes. So we're non-discriminatory on that. We have our criteria to be able to qualify to be an RSS. But as long as they meet that basic criteria, we're going to let them in. So.
And there's a comment. Oh, there you go. I was just going to say they wanted to get your contact info again. So Brian will be able to help facilitate answers to questions or point you in the right direction. I know a lot of questions come in from families. Brian, you and I discussed this, that go through the family and friends liaison department, and they really don't. Some of the answers that are so technical that I know things get forwarded on to you often. So we really appreciate you being willing to share your information with us.
I appreciate the opportunity and the enthusiasm. So it makes my job easy when everybody wants to help. So.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions or comments, Brian's got his information. Just a lot of praise, Brian, for the work that you do. And we are all anxious to see continued improved outcomes for people that have been able to access the program. And we just hope that the expansion continues, the coordination with the Inside Out Network. And you're just a real key player for us here. And we appreciate so much your willingness to connect us in the outside with the inner workings of the Arizona Department of Corrections, and making us feel a part of something that we can understand and have hope that will improve our lives of our loved ones and community members.
Thank you, Mary Lou, and thank you, everybody. I will go back to being quiet.
All right. And I'm about ready to be quiet too. So Brian's information is there. I am going to work on seeing if we can keep this recording and so that folks can have access to go back and get questions answered. So we'll let you know about that in the future. Thanks again to the entire Arizona Department of Corrections for allowing Brian and Dr. Stahlcup to be with us today. And I know there's many others from the Department of Corrections that were here. And we want you to know we consider you an important piece of the collaboration that we have throughout the state that's focused to reduce incarceration of people with mental illness and addictions. And we welcome your attendance always and participation. So I will go ahead and wish you all a safe week, and until we meet again, as I had mentioned earlier, next month will be in particular interest to those that are involved in the legal system, having to do with criminal defense of people that have mental disorders and the right to disclose that at trial. So that'll perk up some ears, I am sure, and we'll see what's going on around the country related to this issue. So thanks again. Feel free to join our email list if you're not already on. You can reach me at davidshopeaz@yahoo.com. And we'd be glad to get you onto our list of partners so you can receive our notices. Thanks to all, and God bless. Be safe. I'll leave the meeting alive for a while, so if you need anything off the chat, you'll have time to grab that. All
God
right.
bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.